All right. Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready. What have we got today?
Well, today we're heading to London, but not with a tour guide, not with a travel book.
Oh.
Intrigue.
We're going to experience London life through a song.
A song. That's a cool approach. I like it.
Yeah. It's London Life by Kurt Holes off his album Welcome to London, Bruv.
I know Kurt Holes. He's all over the place, musically, genre-wise, which makes this even more interesting.
Exactly. It's like, what kind of London are we going to get with him?
Right. Each artist has their own filter, their own London.
Totally. So let's put on our headphones, close our eyes, and walk right into Kurt Holes' London, shall we? Imagine you're there, walking the streets. What's the first thing you feel?
Energy. Definitely energy. I mean, even the song's opening line says it all. Pulse rumbles like a heartbeat.
Yeah. It's like the city's alive. You can feel that pulse everywhere you go.
Absolutely. It's exhilarating, but also kind of relentless, like you can't escape it. That's a good point. The city that never sleeps.
Right.
Makes you wonder, who thrives there? Who gets overwhelmed?
Right. That's the thing about London. It's not for everyone. It demands a certain resilience.
I feel that. And the song goes on, cobblestone whispers under my feet, ain't no cheat sheet.
Love that line. It's like you're walking on history, literally, but there's no easy guide to understanding it all.
Exactly. You got to figure it out as you go. Each cobblestone tells a story, but you got to listen closely.
And there are layers upon layers of stories, right? Roman ruins under medieval streets, then Victorian buildings. It's all there.
I love that about London. The history's right there in your face. You don't have to dig for it. And then you look up and bam! Double-decker visions, skyscraper ambitions.
The contrast, it's not just about the past, it's pushing forward, too.
And it's growing up. Those skyscrapers are like reaching for the sky.
Right. And it's funny because those double-deckers are such an iconic image of London, but then these modern towers are changing the whole skyline. It's almost like two different cities in one.
It is two cities in one. So many Londons within London. Even the song points it out. Red phone booths, boroughs with their quirks.
Yeah, like each borough is its own microcosm.
Totally. And it's not just geographic. It's like attitude, energy. Camden's got that punk rock vibe. Yeah. Notting Hill's all posh and pretty. Shoreditch is where the hipsters hang.
Right. So many different personalities. Makes exploring so much fun. You never know what you'll find around the corner.
Exactly. And speaking of contrast, that line about East End vibe to the West End flash always makes me smile.
Oh, yeah. It's a classic London dichotomy, right? Grit versus glam.
You can almost feel the energy shift when you cross that invisible line.
Totally. Like on one side, you've got historic markets, street art, curry houses, and on the other, you've got designer shops, fancy theaters, five-star restaurants. It's fascinating how they coexist.
And it's not just side by side. It's like blended together in this crazy mix. The song nails it. Old pubs, new drip, with a hint of classic splash.
Perfect description. It's that mix of tradition and modernity that makes London so unique. You can have a pint in a pub that's been there for centuries and then walk out and see cutting-edge architecture right next door. It's like time travel.
Time travel is right. Like museum walls borrow tales of the past. And right outside, modern streets vibrating, die-hard contrast.
Yeah, the past is inescapable in London, but it's not a museum city. It's living, breathing, constantly changing.
And sometimes those two things clash, like those debates about preserving old buildings while making space for the new.
Oh, absolutely. There's always that tension between preserving history and embracing progress. It's a challenge for any city, but especially for one as old and layered as London.
And all those layers, they make up the city's soul. It's in those lines. In these veins flows royalty plus commoner genes.
Yeah. London's not just about kings and queens and palaces. It's about the millions of ordinary people who call it home.
It's all those stories coming together, like in those tube stop dreams, rush hour scenes.
Oh, man, the tube. The great equalizer. Everyone crammed in together, royalty and commoners, all headed somewhere.
Makes you wonder, what are those dreams those people are carrying?
Well,
what are their hopes for their London life?
Right. Every face on the tube has a story to tell. Some are just starting their journey. Some are seasoned veterans of the city grind.
And all those journeys, they create this incredible energy, this soundtrack of the city. And it's not just the tube, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's like Kurt Holes captured that energy in the music itself. It's in the driving beat, the layered sounds, the almost chaotic feel of the song.
Absolutely. Like you could hear those Piccadilly thrills in the music, the bright lights, the crowds, the energy, and then it shifts. Camden keeps it trill. That's a whole other vibe.
Right. It's grungy, edgy, in your face. Like, Camden doesn't care if you like it or not. It's just going to be Camden.
And I love how he throws in those sensory details. Curry house aroma with a posh pub chill. It's like, you can smell London in that line.
Totally. The mix of spices and beer. It's such a classic London scent.
And it's not just smells. It's sounds, too. Art in the alleys. Music in the Thames breeze. London's creative spirit. It's everywhere, even in the air itself.
You can be walking down a random alley and stumble upon amazing street art or hear a busker playing by the river. It's like the city itself is a stage.
And everything's a performer in their own way, contributing to the city symphony.
Exactly. And speaking of contributions, the song keeps coming back to this idea of history seeps. Like, it's a constant reminder that the past is always present in London.
It's like no matter how much the city changes and grows, those layers of history are still there, underneath it all, shaping the present, influencing the future.
Makes you wonder, what will London's history seeps be like 100 years from now? What stories will we leave behind for future generations to uncover?
What stories will we tell about our own London lives, right?
Exactly, because in a way, we're all part of that history, adding our own brushstrokes to the city's ever-evolving canvas.
Love that. Each of us, a tiny part of this massive, ever-changing story. So listeners, what's your London story? Or, if you're not from London, what's the soundtrack of your city? What stories does it whisper to you? Think about it, and maybe even write your own city life song.
That's a great challenge. I might have to give that a try myself.
Me too. All right, folks, that's our London deep dive for today. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep exploring.
Cheers! Keep those ears open. You never know what stories you'll find.
Tube stop dreams, rush hour scenes. In these veins flows royalty plus commoner genes. Piccadilly thrills, Camden keeps it trill. Curry house aroma with a posh pub chill. Art in the alleys, music in the Thames breeze. Union Jack Drake mindset.